institutions who want to buy tabs to give it as part of their, like I said, enrollment kit. The second one is people who have educational content. Yeah? So a lot of education content owners are approaching us, and we are approaching them to make sure that we can offer content on our tablets, which helps us differentiate our product from the rest of the market. And the task really in tablets is to grow the overall pie. And that's what we will continue to do. We feel education, like Anmol said, this is a great device for students. How many times you go with a tablet and work at the same, with a laptop and work at the same time? It's rather tough. Either you're working on you still need the laptop or the PC to do heavy duty computing. But when you want to do consumption of content, you want to read something while you're working, or you want to search something quickly on the web while you're studying, and a tablet is a perfect companion. And we are finding that if you can give good content on the tablet, this market will explode. On the enterprise side, I think the tendency of enterprises is largely to customize their own solutions, because a lot of, some of the enterprises have started using tablets for their field force, for their sales force, where they can actually help in selling products or services to their customers. So overall, I think there's a lot of traction from both the education segment as well as the enterprise segment.
On the education side, do you offer special pricing in terms of subsidy or something?
We don't offer subsidy, but we do offer EMI and various other offers that can help students buy this. In the cases when there is a B2B deal, where an institution is buying, yes, we do look at special pricing, but that's on a case-by-case basis.
Sir, why would you choose to launch the tablet at a time when tablet sales are falling, especially in the last quarter?
Tablet sales are falling?
Yeah. Okay, and my second question is...
the other tablets.
My second question is, a majority of the data usage is mostly on smartphones and laptops. So how do you plan to drive up data usage through this tablet?
Our job is not to really grow data. That is a consequence of people using our device. So firstly, two things. I don't think tablet sales are decreasing. Just to give you some figures, last year the market was around 1.5 million. We're expecting the market to double this year. If that, in the current economic scenario, if that is not growth, then I don't know what is growth. So firstly, tablet market is growing. Secondly, as far as data is concerned, yes, because of the larger screen, the larger the screen, the larger the consumption of data from an operator perspective. So this is a great device from an operator perspective as well, because it helps them sell more data to consumers. Because most of what sells in the Indian market is 3G tablets, which are, therefore you have to put a SIM card and sell it. So these are great devices from an operator perspective, which is why we partner with operators, and in this case we're partnering with Vodafone in giving an initial offer that helps consumers get some freebie along with the tablet.
Hi Vineet, if we look at currently the portfolio of different OEM guys in the market, they have, including you have come out with smartphones which are ranging the screen size of 5, 5.5, and a couple of guys have come with 6.3. Don't you think like this, they are a tough challenger for the 7-inch tablet? 8-inch definitely, that's an altogether different segment, but 7-inch, the uptake of 7-inch might fit.
The beauty is we created the 5.8 and 6.3, so we don't mind competition within the same family, so it's okay.
Would it impact the sales of the 7-inch tablets?
See, look, the reality is that screen size is a big differentiator in this entire smart devices category. So we, like you rightly said, from 3-inch to 4-inch, 4.3, 4.7, 5, 5.8, 6.37. It's a continuum. So there are different consumers who want different sizes. There are students who prefer a large device. There are a lot of youngsters who prefer a large device. A lot of enterprise people prefer a large device because it helps them see presentations on screen, etc. And then it's a choice whether they want to use only one device. So the differentiator is when they want to use only one device, they buy a 5.8-inch because they can do both functionalities on the same. And then there's some consumers who say, I want a smaller phone, but I'll carry a tab. Yeah, so there are different needs. As market leaders, we want to make sure that we give all the options for customers, and then depending on what customer chooses, we actually push them.
We need a couple of months back when the Tab 3 series was unveiled in London. There were 3 tablets showcased over there. Only 2 have made it to India.
So there are 3. So there is a Wi-Fi version of the 8-inch, right?
That's right.
So there's a Wi-Fi version and a 3G version of 8-inch. So that's 2 models, and then there is 7-inch, which is only a 3G version.
But there was a 10-inch one also, if I'm correct.
There was a 10-inch one? No. So as
10.1.
part of the Tab 3 series, there are only 3 models.
Thank you.
What are the
Okay, are you talking about the Atom? Yeah, so that's a different thing altogether. And when we launch that in the country, we will come back to you again. So Atom is a new series of tablets and other IT products that we're launching. So that's a separate. Are you referring to that launch program?
What are the expectations of the company after the release of the Tab 2, which was one of the most successful tab in the Indian market? So what are the expectations of the Samsung after releasing its Tab 3? And the second question would be how do you consider your competitors like iPad mini and other iPads with your tablet?
So as far as the Tab 2 is concerned, you're absolutely right. It was our most successful tablets, and helped us gain market leadership. We have 62% value share, and therefore helped us gain both market share and help grow the market. We are hoping that with the Tab 3, we will take that lead even further and grow the market even faster. So actually, our biggest task is to grow the market.
And a special promotion which you are introducing for the same and for the major sales, and you want that it will go much higher than the Tab 2. Any special?
So we are offering 20,000 rupees worth of free content on the Tab 3. So if you play around with the Tab 3, you will see a lot of things that you can buy as content is free. And that's largely because we're offering that as free content. So you can imagine you buy something which is worth 17,000 and you get content worth 20,000 free.
And the competitors like iPad mini?
What do you want me to say about that? We have 62% value market share. And like I said, we want to grow the market.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Manu is feeling left out. You haven't asked him any
Yes.
question. You have to ask him a tough question.
I'll ask him one. Which is your favorite application that you play around
Not a
with?
tough question.
No, it's an easy one.
Easy. There's a question there. Number of it.
Only because you said tough question, Vinny, but don't you think it's a little scary for people like not just Samsung but all the other OEMs that whenever Google announces, I won't say a rooted, but an original Google edition of any of your phones, everybody in the blogosphere, including us, actually think it's big news and everybody's very excited about it. It's almost as if consumers are saying that we don't want manufacturer software and services on these phones, just give us pure Android. Now, this applies not just to Samsung, as I said, but to all the main Android manufacturers. People actually are looking forward to the pure Google versions of your phones. So they just want the hardware. So, how does one, see that as feedback? Because all of us actually report that as the big news story of the day when a pure Google version of any of these devices comes out.
Did you report big news when S4 was announced?
The Google-only edition
No,
of
it
S4?
was just S4.
Sure, but the fact that when it comes out with pure Google software, it's equally big news. I mean, just what are your thoughts? Do you think that implies that consumers don't want manufacturer software on the phone?
In this category and in this industry, we have to understand that there is cooperation and competition at the same time. Right? That's the way this category works. You compete with somebody, but you also cooperate with somebody. There are different types of consumers. We are a player who believes that we have to address a very large segment of the market. And that's why we launch products that appeal to different segments, not just the niche techie, but also the mass segment with our smartphones, which are now as cheap as 5,000 rupees. So we firmly believe that we have to play in this market where we address the entire pyramid, so to speak. And there will be players and there will be customers who would prefer a pure version, if you call it something called pure. But normal consumers don't care. They really want a good UI, a good experience with a great hardware. And I think that's what Samsung has perfected so beautifully, which is why the Galaxy series is a market leader in this country and in many countries and across the world. So I keep saying that customers are ultimately the biggest voter in this. So yes, there will be some versions that some customers will like. But on an overall, I think we seem to be doing a reasonably good job.
Yeah, just to add to that, we are very active in terms of introducing new models. I mean, and imagine if the other way were supposed to happen, you would not even talk about it. So that's the reality. I mean, they come with one product in a year, and of course it becomes a news item. But the reality is, apart from what Vinny just mentioned, we have to address the larger audience, and adding our own softwares and UI really address the larger needs of the market.
I also want to add, unlike many other categories, this is one industry and one category where hardware and software together is what really makes the magic. And frankly, I mean, we do lots of research. We spend 8% of our overall revenue on R&D just to perfect that art of making the hardware and software work together. And I think that's a very important differentiator for us. Companies like the ones you mentioned know only one part of the story. We know both sides of the story. And therefore, I think that synchronization and that synergy is extremely important. The second part, and I think at the end of the day, you got to sell the product. And to sell large numbers of these very exciting devices, you require skills in retailing, you require skills in after-sales service, and those are skills that Samsung has developed very, very robust skills in the last 3-4 years in India. So again, to sell a device is one thing, but then you want to sell it in large numbers, you know how to retail, you know how to do after-sales.
Vinny, most of the consumers, after looking at the Galaxy series of phones or tablets, they have only one complaint, which is always persistent complaint. When we will get different design? Only the screen size is changing. As you said, the magic is between hardware and software. Definitely agreed, the magic is there, but the first attraction or the first love is through the design.
So, I'll give you an example. People talk about S4. I mean, it's similar to S3. But if you actually pick, for example, S4 versus S3, you had, and you put side by side, they're actually the same size. It's much slimmer. We get more screen size and the same content. That's a big design change. It's not that there's no design change. A lot of work is done behind that to get more output in the design. So I would say that we are constantly evolving the design, definitely, and there are models which will follow our flagship designs so that to have better synergy and appeal with that.
That's what I was coming to. Like, if I'm holding a Galaxy 3 and a Samsung S3 and S4 in my hand, and somebody's looking at me from a distance of 1 feet, he will not be able to distinguish I'm carrying S3 or S4.
So I don't agree with you entirely. But I take your feedback.
Backside.
Backside. So we differentiate through various speeds. So while we might not have had a dramatic change in the look and feel at the back, the S-View cover, for example, is a huge differentiator. Nobody else has it in the market. It's a simple innovation, but extremely user-friendly. The attach rate, that means the number of people who buy an S-View cover along with a S4 is upward of 70-80%, right? I mean, so much so we're now giving it, along with the S4 because it's just an important differentiator for us. So that's an innovation. Having said that, I do want to say that Samsung is a company is succeeded because we always listen to the customer and take this as a feedback. Yeah? So we have taken this as feedback. So who knows, in the next innovation, there might be something different.
So you don't rule out next Galaxy smartphone or tablet coming with a new design?
I don't want to make any forward commitments like that, but all I'm saying is that we are very, very open to listening to customer feedback, and this feedback has come to us, and I'm sure there are, out of that 8% in R&D and design, I'm sure some percentage is being applied to that feedback.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for those questions. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on stage and enlightening all these wonderful people out here on what the latest features are. It really has been a fantastic afternoon, and I hope we've sent you back with lots to think about in this outer Galaxy experience out here. The smartest screen ever, the Galaxy Tab 3 is here, and of course, we once again would like to thank each and every one of you who made it out here. There's also lunch that's being served, so please enjoy yourself, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.